Here we are back in this beautiful world. Got a little gas dude down here. He looks like he's about ready to go. And I had another one. I don't... Oh, hey, buddy. Look at you. So what I'm kind of looking to do is to add like a farming area, like a farming village, make this into a farming village. And I think what I'm going to do in order to get that done is to tear this one down and build anew. These guys, you know, they don't really got much going on here. And I haven't been paying attention to them, so they might even be... are they still alive? Okay, we got our nitwit right here. Got a dude up here. So there's a couple guys left. But I think I'm going to tear down this village and then build anew, probably closer to where I am on this side of this little cave. Like over here. We're going to have to tear down this forest and then set up some farmland. Different farmland plots and different kind of crops and stuff. And then a bunch of houses and a nice little... Might even be changing this area into like a little road leading to a dock or a ship, you know, like a shipping pier, so that boats can come in and they can take away our crops for our village. Give some use for this village that honestly doesn't really seem to have much of one, as we talked about in the last video. A lot of these guys don't really even have jobs, so I'll tear all this down and then we're going to use maybe this portion right here as the actual farming village to be able to get stuff out. I think that'd be a pretty cool project to get done. For those of my guys that are watching and they have subscribed for the UHC series, don't worry, I'm going to continue that series. I just have taken a small hiatus from it because a lot of the projects that are going to be on there are going to be taking me quite a bit of time. But I've been working on other things as well to keep things fresh on the channel. So yeah, I guess the first thing that we're going to be doing is tearing it down. Let's start demoing this. I don't really want to like blow it up or mess anything up, and I don't like... The hardest part about this is going to be getting rid of all these path blocks. So I think our best bet is to just break them, because we're going to have to end up like terraforming all of this land anyway, tearing down all the trees, maybe making parts flatter so that we can have actual like crops and different plots for houses and stuff. But first things first, let's start tearing down a couple of these houses, or all the houses. Then we'll fix the land, and then we can start building anew. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized that I broke the first block. Is that we are just not equipped for this. I need like better enchants. This is not going to work. Did we have extra diamonds? I don't remember. I know we didn't go crazy. We were kind of just vibing, which is kind of what I'm doing with this world. Just kind of chilling, making like some pretty relaxed things. Oh, I do. Okay. Yeah, let's grab these. And the thing we may be missing is a fully set up area. Yeah. Should have brought the books from the stronghold, but honestly, at the time, I was kind of thinking this was going to be a one-off world, but I really want to play it again, so that's kind of what we're doing. We don't have any kind of like sugarcane set up, do we? Or well, we do actually. Wait, where are the cows at? We might not have to run away. Might be able to just farm these guys. Or no, they're not quite there. I'm pulling up a nether portal calculator so we can go to the nether and just put a portal in there. I think I grabbed all my obsidian from over there. I cannot believe I don't have any efficiency. Oh, I hate how long that takes. Okay, we got enough now. So let's head our butts over to the coordinates, which is going to be 228 and 40. That's going to be our coordinates for the nether. I don't know exactly where the portal is in the nether, so hopefully it's not too far. Also, I don't know why my day counter reset. It says day 2. I don't know why. I saw that and I'm like, I took off the Better F3 mod, and I don't know what happened with that. So that was kind of weird, but that's why it says day 2. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why, but that's what I'm saying. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, let's go. Do I have flint and steel? I do not. Hold up a minute. Let's grab that. Okay, so only about 200 blocks. 150 blocks maybe. And then 40. 40 that way. Alright. I don't think this is the right Y level, so I might have to dig down, but that's okay. I can always fix it. Yep, I'm pretty sure this is... I think I dug... Where did I dig? I ended up digging down right here. Yep. Perfect. Okay. There she is. Perfect. Grab a bunch of books. Now the way back is way easier. So all we have to do is hop in the portal. And then we'll be right at spawn. So that's pretty good. I'll take this armor trim as well. And I don't really need loyalty. I think I grabbed all the good books that I could find the first time. So I'm not going to dig through all these. Yeah, let's head up and out. If I can find the correct way to get back out. Because I kind of cheated my way in here. I mean, I didn't cheat my way in here. But I just came through the ceiling, I mean. And now I hate to set up outside like that because we're making this village, so I'll probably just end up having like a little library that has this like tucked in the corner. But for now, this is what we have, so I'm not gonna... I'll just set it up and then we can tear it down later. There we go, level 30. Okay. Now, the only other thing I was worried about, and I'm pretty positive I don't have much of, and actually, no, I think I used all of it, is the lapis. Damn it. Okay, we might need to go find some lapis, and then we can start tearing down these houses. No, what are you doing? Oh. Oh, dang, they're already grown? That's not too bad. We have that. We have the string for a lead, because I can just tie him up for now. Or no, I'll let him float around until I need him. Not really a big deal. Yep, 0 lapis. Alrighty, now we need to find that, which is surprisingly a pain. I hope this doesn't take too long, because at a certain point we could have just like already been like a portion of the way through tearing things down. I haven't been focusing too much time on this, but if it takes us a while to find the lapis, then that'll be kind of concerning. Yo. Oh crap, look at this. Hell yeah. Does this stuff even spawn high up like this? Like, what are the... I gotta look that up, like, where this stuff actually spawns. I cannot believe that. I was coming back from over there to look for a cave in our main area. Wait, is there some more right there? Hold up! I was coming over here to see if I could find a cave in the woods, and then we got these 2 little bits right here. Not a bunch. We still need to go mining for it, but this is definitely enough to be doing what we need to be doing, so I will not complain about that. Being right there in our path. We've passed by that, like... 10 times and I haven't seen it. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay. And then oh, perfect. That works just fine for me. Thank you very much. Let's take this stuff back and empty up my inventory because I want to keep most of the blocks that I'm tearing down. I always use them in the builds. No need to get rid of any of this stuff or let it despawn. So, alrighty. Now we can get to tearing down this village. Let's just destroy all these homes and then start actually fixing up the land as well. Part of being a farmer. Gotta get our land in good shape, so here we go. Okay, we tore down every house. The villagers were scrambling. They were like freaking out. Kind of funny actually. Watching them like be like, where are you taking my house? And I thought they were gonna die, but surprisingly one of them ran to my house and they're like hanging out over there, and then the rest of them I managed to get into this box just kind of hanging out. They didn't really... I had a lot of iron golems running around here, so they were pretty well protected. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and tear down these paths so we can make it look not so... I don't know, this kind of looks destroyed the way that all this goes. Like, this village is a little hectic as far as the pathing. And then I may or may not flatten off these little tiny pieces that you're not going to be able to fit anything. Like I said, I don't know if we're going to use this part. If we do, it's just going to be like a big crop area or something. I think we're going to use like mainly over here. And then I'm also going to go ahead and tear down pretty much all these trees. If I get a... Let me get on top of a tree real quick so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I think I'm mostly going to use like this area, like I said before. And we're going to tear down all these. And then I'm going to actually maybe plant a couple of trees right here. And then just leave like... I'm going to get rid of this. This thing is annoying me. And so is this one. They're too big and ridiculous. But I'm going to have like trees kind of covering this so that I can keep this as my house. And it's kind of like away from the rest of it. And that's kind of what I'm planning on doing. Also, while I was doing that, I almost broke this pickaxe, or the axe, so I went ahead and made another axe, and I was like, oh, let me enchant it while I'm, here. And I got efficiency 4 on breaking 3, which I added to that one, so I got efficiency 5. And then I enchanted this, just a minute ago so I could do this pathing a lot quicker. And here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. And you guys hopefully enjoy watching that from the overhead view. But we have cleared up quite the amount of this forest here. I got a few little stragglers to fix, and I'm hoping... Oh, whoa. I'm hoping I can get this situated. Or that I got all the logs out of that, I mean. But everything is pretty cleared out. All the leaves are about decayed. Let me take a good look from the air. Because this back here is like very good farmland. Like it's very flat. This I can flatten out a bit more in certain areas to make housing plots. And something like, let's say here. Like a little library here. And then this is a perfect little valley road that I can smooth out to get to like our dock area. But this back area is very good for farming land. And I'm thinking what I want to do for it is to have something where there's like different plots and they're clearly owned by different people, and possibly even having different farming houses next to them. So it's a good indication. So I'm trying to think what's like the appropriate amount, like to zone off like a few different areas, like a wheat guy and a melon guy, which don't have any melons, so I have to go on an adventure to find that. Oh wait, there's a jungle right there. I think there's just melons all over those places, so that's perfect. And then potatoes and carrots can be like the same dude, maybe. Something like that. Be a pretty good thing that we could do. So we like section off little plots for them to have their little houses and stuff. And here's our villagers that are going to be those guys. And then I think because it's a town, we'll probably need to have like a library, a little blacksmith, maybe hut area. It won't be too big, nothing to dedicate like too much of a build to. This village is just going to be full of like small little cute builds. The library is going to be a little bit bigger, but not a huge building. This is a cozy little farm village, but it has the little amenities for everybody that's going to be in it. So let me just go ahead and grab these melons just because I know they're right there. Let me run over here and see if we can actually find any quick enough. And here's what we got from all of the houses that we tore down. I was actually surprised the amount of wood that we got from just the houses. Like this is from a couple of trees, not a bunch of trees, just a couple, because there was like the center town tree and then maybe one tree or two trees next to it. So, but the rest of the wood is from houses, and we got like at least 4, maybe 5 stacks that I took away. Lots of stripped oak logs, like quite a bit. And I want to keep a very similar palette to what we already had. Maybe a little darker, or throw in some spruce, of course. So we'll see, but I want to kind of keep a very similar palette to the natural villages. Let me go see if I can find some melons real quick. There they are, right there, right in the entrance too. I didn't even get that far in here. Beautiful. We don't need like an insane amount, but I'll take like what's in an area. And I don't know like a cool pattern. Maybe we'll have to go generic, or maybe I can look and see if there's like some decent patterns. I'll fiddle with it myself before I look anything up, but I kind of want to like come up with a not a like artsy pattern, but a like natural-ish but effective looking pattern for different for the at least the melons. And that's pretty much all I think we do need for farming. There's not really like, is there another one I'm not thinking of? Like apples come from trees, so we're not going to be farming that. We got wheat, potatoes, carrots, melons. There's pumpkins. I have to decide if I want the pumpkins in there. If so, then I'll just mix them in with the melons, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that. And I don't think any of these farms are going to be gigantic, but they'll be decent size, enough to see that that's what this village is about. But yeah, this is like great farmland right there. So all this will be farm stuff. And then over here will be the actual, like, well, I shouldn't say actual, because those will be houses there. Maybe a couple huts, a library, and a library, some like different shops, and just homes generally. Just some tiny little, kind of little homes that are a little more detailed than the standard village. But first things first, do I have a supply of spruce? I'm pretty sure I don't. But the matter of having saplings is kind of what I need right now. Got one sapling, I'm right there. I think we'll move to another section to start farming some spruce trees. Because I don't want to tear these ones down. I kind of like where they are. And I got to clean all this stuff up. Oh my god. Alright, well there goes that tree. I tried to save what I did, but it didn't really work. Let me check and see what my status is on my saplings before I do that. None. Perfect. Okay. Let's chop down maybe one more. Or these two, possibly. Yeah, let's do these two. We'll get the saplings from those. And then we'll use that to go farm some trees somewhere. I should have some bones. If not, we could pop in the nether, get some nether, or get the bone blocks from this nearby Soul Sand Valley. Hopefully there's one not one too far. Okay, I got plenty of bones. That should be enough to get us through a decent amount of spruce, maybe a couple of trees worth of the big trees. And there is sugarcane. Should I have a farm for sugarcane? Maybe, but I think it might just be fine on the coast here. Possibly. Kind of a good indication as to what the village is. Okay, so we have enough spruce saplings for one big tree, which generally is good enough for an entire farm. So we'll find an area nearby where you could do it that isn't going to mess up like our view. Let me take a peek real quick. Hop up here with this villager. I want it pretty close. Maybe up there. Yeah, we'll go like right over here somewhere. Not too far. Let me sleep first and then we'll hop over there. Might as well take the boat. Get ourselves a big tree. I feel like, well, we're going to make quite a few houses. So I'll do a couple of these and then we can start working on like the areas that we're going to be using. So I'll section off like the different farm plots, see how big I want them to be, and then fence them in and throw down some pathing. This will be fine right here. Do I have enough room is the question. Right here will be plenty. All right. I'll save some just in case I don't need to use them and I find a dog. I do need to get a dog. I always like neglect finding a dog in these different series that I do. Or pretty much ever playing Minecraft. I feel like I've never actually gotten a dog. Because majority of the time I played Minecraft was before dogs, or like at least on the version I was playing didn't have any dogs. And then once I started playing on PC, I was just doing other things. I didn't really focus on that. I think I normally don't get efficiency 5 this quickly. Because that was like, normally when we need this much spruce, I have like an iron axe or just a regular diamond axe. This is efficiency 5, and that was not like one of the first things we did. Granted, we did it after the... Normally, I feel like I have enchants set up before I go to the dragon fight, so that's probably why. I don't have that many levels just like sitting around ready. Alright, we got this next tree set up. This will be good for at least a little bit. I'll probably end up needing more, but we'll just see how much spruce we actually end up using. Which will probably be a decent amount just because spruce is the best. But aside from that, now we can go back over here and we'll go ahead and see what we're going to be using for different plots. I don't know if I'll get like the full network designed for like all the roads that are going to be in the town, but I do want to get the ones for the back farming areas because those will probably be like the first thing I work on just because the actual farms have to grow. And I know, wait, do I have like, I think I have carrots and potatoes. That's another question because we might have to go finding that and then we'll really need to get these started before we actually start with everything. I really like this house, like a lot, surprisingly more than I did before. Okay, so we have pumpkins too. I'll use them. Why not? It doesn't matter. We'll mix them in. Yeah, so we got potatoes and carrots. I think we have everything. We got the melons, which we'll go ahead and throw in here for right now. Yeah, we got everything we pretty much need right here, except for the wheat seeds. And I know we have some of those. All right, there we go. So that's everything we need for that. Let's just get focused on where we're actually going to put it now. I've been tearing down this little bit here so I can fit another piece of farmland in here, and I'm like, dang, efficiency 3 kind of sucks. Like, so it's like, feels like a normal shovel with no enchants. And then I got to the dirt part. Is this how it's always been? I feel like you normally can, I feel like grass might be normally a little bit slower. But is that a new feature? That feels like this is a normal shovel, and this is efficiency 3. Like, that's a drastic difference just because there's grass on it. I'm tearing through the dirt. Like, I'm kind of mad that this is grass because I can tear through the... Is this a glitch, or is this, like, how it's been? Now, let me know if you know, but this is really weird. Alrighty, so we got ourselves set up here with a few different plots. I think these two are about similar sized, and this one is a little bit smaller. I don't really know how much it matters on which one is which, but we'll figure out the configuration here. So that's going to be our different like fields and farm housing areas for the different plots of crop types. And then we'll have the rest of our stuff. I'll probably have like a few different huts along this side. And then the actual heart of the, you know, farm village is going to be in here. Right here. And this is not the final path. This is just like a guide, I guess. I'm going to throw in like some cobble and stone and maybe some gravel and stuff. Why am I lagging? Stop it. Yeah, so that's how we're going to do that. I feel like I need to build the house first to see exactly how big it's going to be. They don't need to be crazy big. And I kind of want them to be in different positions, I guess, just so they're not all the same. Like, I don't want it to be like house in the back, house in the back, house in the back, crops in the front. It doesn't look, that doesn't like look good, like realistic, I guess. You know, none of these places are going to have exactly the same thing. So I want to have like, you know, one off to the side, a lot of things going on inside, maybe with some like a driveway and then the fields and stuff. We're going to have to fiddle a lot with this different kind of thing. Actually, I forgot to finish this recording. Damn it. I don't want these to look like they were just plopped there inside these fences. And that's just that. I need it to look lived in. So we're going to have to throw in a bunch of stuff to make these look better than they do. Or better than they're going to do if I just put a house and then put some crops in there. I'm just not entirely sure. I'll have to look at some farms. And then we don't really have a like cow thing, but I don't know if I'm going to focus on livestock for this village. It might just be a farm village, like not a ranch. So I don't know. We'll see as we go. All right, I've kind of looked around. So yeah, I think I have a... I think instead of doing the same palette like I was saying for the whole village, I'll mix it up a little bit. I mean, generally it's just going to have stone, spruce, oak, and different variations of stone. But like different houses may only have stone. Some might have birch. Well, not just stone, but stone and spruce and maybe some oak. Some might have some birch mixed in there. We'll fiddle around as we go. And I'm going to have to focus because I haven't really like gone off the... I'm trying to think if I've done a single video or ever there's even been a time where I have made a bunch of different buildings for one video. I don't know if I've ever done that. Normally it's like one big thing. This is where I'm at. If I'm playing by myself, it's like, this is my house and that's it. You know, maybe some buildings off to the side to do different things later on. But for one project, I've never done multiple different buildings. So this is definitely going to be a little weird. I'm going to feel like I'm done after one house. Obviously, these guys are going to have different levels of success. So one house might be a little bit bigger. Some might be a little bit smaller. Some people might only want the smaller house, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to fiddle around with that as well. And I'm going to keep fiddling around with a lot of things because I keep saying fiddle like a fiddle fiddle. And I also have to smelt up some stone as well. So let's run in here. But throw some of that in there. We're going to need more than that. But we'll start with that. So yeah, I'm going to smelt up a bunch of stone. And then start working on the first build. Which... well, we'll see how I'm going to do this. Like I said, I've never done like multiple projects, so it might be some flashback. Some are going to be me just like talking about it while I'm doing it. I don't know. You're about to find out though. So let me smelt up some of this stuff, get all of the blocks that I need for each build, and then get started on at least the farming portion. God, I don't know why I normally see these guys flying around now, and I'm pretty okay with it. Like, I don't really, like, look at them and be like, oh my god, but I just walked out of the house and saw them. I'm like, oh! Like, that's gonna be something people have to get used to, I guarantee it. But anyway, yeah, we finished this. This is the first farmhouse, and we're going to have a trail go over here to the field that's gonna be here, which I feel we can have like a decent field. I'm not sure. What I'm probably gonna do is have the field and then have a path go right here, and then this be the field. I don't know if I'm gonna have a path going around the outside, but there'll probably be there may or may not be a space between the fence and the crops, but it'll be enough for this small village to have some wheat, I'll say. Or should it be the potatoes and carrots? Maybe this will be the potatoes and carrots because you get a lot more from a harvest, and then we use one of those for a wheat field. Yeah, let's do potatoes and carrots here. I feel like it make more sense. I do have to throw in a few lanterns in this area, and then we may or may not decorate this at some point. I'm going to skimp on the insides right now. For this one, I didn't because I did need to put some stuff in a chest, and I needed a furnace for these. But we're not really going to do anything else. I might throw a bed right there. But yeah, this is the house. It's a little farmhouse, just enough for somebody to sleep, and then they can work on their fields. And then we're going to throw in, like, you know, different things. We'll bone meal the grass, and here, I'll actually go ahead and do this right now. I don't want any tall grass because this is going to be stuff that is currently being lived in. So we'll just leave that for now. And that already adds quite a bit, to be honest. But we're going to throw stuff in for each of these. So that's kind of how I'm going to do these. And then these ones are going to be the same thing. House in some area. Like I said, I don't want it to be the same. So normally when you see a farmhouse, it's like far off the main road. So having one on this side, I feel like wouldn't really make any sense. So yeah, we're going to hop into the next one now to see what we're going to come up with for that one. All right. House number 2 is done for the farmhouses. Kind of like this. It's not like anything crazy. It's pretty basic, but I don't know. I like it. And as you can see, of course, I planted one tree. I was like, oh, we gotta have a tree like right here because it looks looks like it needed a tree. And then the giant thing, I'm like, of course. Yeah, this ain't bad. I need some flower pots so I can throw like a flower here or something like that. And this house is basically empty. I do have this here, and I'd probably throw a bed there if I do come through here at some point and like actually fill in spots. Matter of fact, if I actually came in and filled in like these houses, I'd probably put a wall here. Or here actually, because that makes a little more sense. You know, out of all these houses I make with like the slim designs or whatever, this is probably the nicest one as far as like space goes, because it's actual, like if I was to wall this off as a room, it would be an actual room minus this corner piece. That's pretty cool. Anyhow, whoever lives here is gonna be living it up. I am going to like put beds in the houses at least, and a job block. As far as like fully designing the inside, I'm not necessarily going to do that today. So just so that the villagers will go into these houses and actually like populate the areas. I might even try to like throw extra beds in where they can fit, just so that multiple villagers can go into the bigger ones. And yeah, they'll just like be able to go through here. Now they can't use these, so I'll probably have to end up leaving all these open, or just getting rid of them entirely. Actually, that'll work in my benefit. Then we can have villagers go into these and then close it, and they can't leave. No, I like that. Yes, then we'll just make sure we'll throw like 2 of them in here, 1 of them in here, and then that villager will be a farmer for this area. Luckily, I don't think I have any job blocks. I wasn't using any like barrels in any of these, so that's good. Now, looking at this from a distance, obviously we're gonna throw some buildings here as well. But see, these look so like, it looks like creative or something like that. It's like, it's not quite right. So hopefully when I put the crops in, it'll look a little bit better. The only thing I can imagine to fix that is to add like stuff along these roads, such as like, I mean, like out here, I won't add anything, but in these areas, I'll probably add like, you know, some benches and things like that. Trying to think, because these are going to be like outskirt, roads. These will be still not great roads, but a little more city-like, or not city. You know what I mean? Like inside the town. This is inside the town. This is outside the town. So I don't know what's going to make that better, but well, we'll have to come up with something. I think it's because it's so flat. I think once we put the crops in here, which I might just go ahead and do for these two, just because I know where the houses are going to be, then it'll make it look a little bit better. Like, what was I going to do? Carrots and potatoes? I need to start growing those anyway, so let me go ahead and throw those in. Problem is, I don't have any damn space. I didn't want to have to grab this stuff just yet. But we can throw these in here, I guess. Hopefully I don't forget. I put my mossy cobble into the new house because I needed the space for something. And I almost forgot it was in there, so hopefully I don't continue to do that. I need to have a full water source somewhere. Let me throw it like here. And I won't lie to you, when I thought of doing this idea, I was like, okay, cool. I'll record this Saturday and then finish it on Sunday. That is not happening. I've been recording for like almost for 2 hours and 40 minutes, I think. Not entirely, maybe like 20 minutes of that was useless, or half an hour of that was like useless. I was like watching the video too hard that I was paying attention to, or something like that. But so let's say like 2 hours I've been doing this, and we only have 2 houses done because we had to do like extra stuff. And that's only for today. I mean, clearing all this stuff takes a little bit longer than some people might expect. All right, and I'll have to get a hoe. Let me drop off some stuff in these houses, or I'll go throw it in this one since I already have building material in here. I know we beat the end, so I'm not going to get a elytra just because this is like a relaxed video. I don't need one, but I could probably use some shulker boxes right now. I don't necessarily want to take the detour on that, but I don't know if I will. I don't think I'm going to, but it is a thought I'm having right now. Like, damn, a shulker box would be really nice. Okay, so we're going to do carrots and potatoes for this one. And then I think we're going to do, we're going to do wheat here because I feel like the only way to make the melon farm look any good is to have some kind of like canopy thing set up for above the melons. I feel like that might be the only way to make that decent, which will break up the monotony of this. So I'm going to need the space for it. And that's going to probably have a little bit more space than this one. So we can grab ourselves this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to have a path going like right here. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to break these up. Try to make them look not so squared off. I mean, that's a little rounded, but just because these are going to be maintained. And so like this can be constantly walked on just fine. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do this though, just because. Yeah. Oh, I hate doing the crops right against the pass, but you know what? That's what we're gonna have to do here. Yeah, and obviously we're gonna fill in this whole space. I don't like to make them perfectly square, so maybe I'll do something like that. I mean, the fencing is round, so it's gonna be fine. But I might round it here and then like extend it out a little bit because I don't like them to make like look perfectly square. Then it kind of looks a little strange. Should probably separate them, right? Let me do like this. And then this half will be carrots, and this half will be potatoes. I'm not gonna bone meal to get this entire thing filled up. I just want to get a little bit more to get past that little hump that you have when you're just dealing with 1 or 2. That way when we come back and this is grown, we'll be able to fill out a decent chunk more. And for this side, go ahead and add 1 plot. I'll clean it up later. How does that look? That looks pretty good. Yeah. Maybe I'll throw like 1 right there and to add a little bit around it. There's like a certain amount of farmland to have around your crop to make it look a little bit better. Because as opposed to like 1 or 2 blocks. It's got to be something like that. Oops. And that should be just fine. So yeah, we'll do this, and then let's get a few carrots going on. All right, that actually almost filled it all in. I guess I didn't need to go that hard on it. Yeah, we'll slowly fill that in. And I want these to be fully grown because they look a little bit better when they are. Gives a little bit more color. But that does help. I mean, you can see what it's for. I'll throw in... guess I have to get some bones. Maybe I can kill a few skeletons, see what I have. And then we can get some grass going there. And like I said, we'll add some trees around because we have some saplings. And that might help out. Okay, can you give me some bones? Thank you very much. Let me try. What are you doing, dude? Yeah, relax. I also could light up here. Like I said, I needed to do the lanterns, and I have some now. Guess like right there. It'll be fine. And that'll light it up enough. And then there's probably something I could put on that wall. I'll get to that at some point. All right, this is feeling pretty complete for a little farming area. And for this side, we're going to be able to just do the same thing just because it's wheat. And that's where it's going to get a little bit more complicated. The house will be a little bit nicer. None of these will be complicated, like I said. None of them are going to be too fancy. But the house over here will be a little bit nicer than this one. And then the actual, like, prop is going to require that I think I put a little canopy over it. So that'll add a little bit of complexity to that plot right there. So we're going to go ahead and throw the wheat in here. And hopefully that goes off pretty smooth. Alright, so it's been a few days since I've actually been working on this, not gonna lie to you guys, so I kind of forgot the last thing I recorded, but I'm pretty sure this is new, and you would have seen that in the time lapse. I had this little silo here just for the wheat, because it makes sense to have one, and expanded their border a little bit to kind of wrap around it. I don't think it looks weird. Nah, it's just like yeah, it's their little yard, so I like it. Maybe I could bring it out a little bit, but I don't know, I think it looks fine for the most part. Just like a property line. I'm very happy with these two things. I'm beginning to like them a little bit more and more as I sit with them. And, you know, we've gotten this here, and I'm going to probably add more of these about, you know, in this area. And maybe add some, like, carts and stuff around with different barrels and hay bales and stuff along these little roads. But for now, we need to actually farm this stuff. So this won't be full until I have like all the decorative stuff I need. But we're gonna get working on this one over here now. And then God knows what's gonna go on with the town. It's gonna be a small town, like I said. A few little shops and things. Nothing too crazy. But I kind of wanted to add that too because I was like, we need something tall as well. Kind of missing something tall to be in the area, so it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. Now I got to get working on this last farmhouse, and then we can fiddle around what we're going to do with the town. And I don't think there's going to be too many intersections or anything crazy. Like I said, library over here, a couple different shops over here, maybe a little market. I think a perfect place for the market would be like right here, because we're going to transform this road to be straight to the port. So then I'll come off the port. There's a market right here. Farms can intercept, drop off stuff at the market, and then ship out the rest. And then and different things that are going to be coming into the ports can get here. So it's like a perfect place for an actual like shopping district. So having some huts there would be pretty nice. I feel like this video doesn't have a lot of time lapses and stuff, but I'm concentrating. I mean, nothing's very complicated about these, but like I said, normally when I have a video, I only work on one build. Whether it's big or not, I'm only working on like one build. So I have to come up with like a bunch of designs, kind of affects me a bit. I'll tell you what though, it's really nice to have the farms going, or at least this farm first, because if I have to eat from crops, my choice is baked potato every time. I mean, golden carrots, obviously, but that involves a different ingredient. And bread's just, it's not as plentiful, so... Happy I built that first so we can have potatoes growing, and I don't have to rush for food. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started on this one over here. I don't even know if I have an idea yet. Maybe something with like more open windows, but I don't know. And then I gotta disperse these guys amongst the village, but I need to get them inside and have them set up with jobs on the inside so I can close the gates. So yeah, we'll figure that all out. But what? What? I mean, this isn't like a huge discovery considering we've already beat the end, but I just mined right into this. Hold on a second. Like I'm so mad. I paused my flashback recording. Wow, that looks so fake. I paused my flashback recording so I could come down and get some deep slate to finish on that roof up there. And then I was like, oh, let me mine this way. I hit tough, so I stopped, and then I went, let me mine this way, and then I popped this bottom block out, and I was like, what is that? It's a spider spawner. There's absolutely nothing good in it except for this music disc, I guess. I don't remember if 13's even... Isn't that the scary one? I think. Yeah, I think it is. Well, that's cool. I mean, we can make a mob grinder out of this. It's spiders, so... I'd have to look up a design for that because they're not going to be as easy to get in, but if we need string, that's a good way to get it, I guess, right? Maybe have like a AFK string farm or something in this world. I'm not sure. I cannot believe that. I mined right into that. All right, well, I might have enough deep slate now, so I'm going to probably go back up. I cannot... That's crazy. We're not that deep, so we're not going to be hitting, like, diamonds. And I have my shaders off now, I just realized. I always forget to turn them back on when I turn them off. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let me get back to that building, though, because I couldn't believe that, and it looks so fake. That's so annoying. Oh, my God. All right, anyway. All right, I got myself this all done. It's, I like it. I mean, I kind of saw an image with this kind of shape. I'm sure everyone's seen this kind of build. And then I went off no reference for any kind of real house or Minecraft house or anything like that. I just saw this shape and I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I just put down some odd dimensions and then made this. And it looks pretty good, all things considered. Normally, I like to like really think about stuff when I'm building it, and I didn't really think about this too hard, so I'm not hating it though. That being said, we need to fill in all the stuff, and I figured this one would be cool to have a crop field here and a crop field here. I think I said before I was gonna do the like, I don't know, not necessarily a vineyard, but like the canopy kind of thing. I think I'm not going to do that now because there's not really room, and the idea of how I want this to look doesn't necessarily align with that. I was thinking a middle path to the door, like maybe here, and then having a path this way, have some pumpkins, path this way, melons, melons. Or the path this way might even go a little more like this. Kind of like go over a little bit, go this way, so I can have some pumpkins, or some melons and some melons. And then throw down some grass in the back and the side. This is this the biggest house? I don't think it is. Well, actually, I think it is technically the biggest house, but it's not much bigger than that one. It's the only one without a fireplace, so they're pretty well off, I guess. They must have AC in there, but there's no actual fireplace inside those. So yeah, I need to put windows in though. And we're not really decorating the inside, like I said, but it's got a big window in the back to see out here. I'm going to get rid of that at some point, and then we'll be able to throw some dudes in here after we get the crops going. The only thing I'm really looking to do before that is I kind of want to see how I'm going to go about doing... I know this is weird to stop in the middle of this project, but the putting the fields down and the pathing inside the yard is going to take no time at all, and getting windows is nothing. I might even have some windows left over. I'm not positive if that's the case or not. Let me just cook these real quick, and I'll go check this chest over here. Yeah, so let's check this chest. I put a bunch of stuff in this house because my inventory was full, and it's full again. We're not going to plant this because I just broke some spruce trees. I'm all over the place right now. Yeah, we're going to put that back down, but let's see if I have any glass left in here. I do have a little bit, but that's not enough. That's not even enough for the back window. We will take it without any complaint, that's for sure. Go ahead and take that, and we'll come around this side. And maybe I'll do... should I throw that there? I'm going to throw that there, see what it looks like. And then we'll put the crops in once that grows. Well, let's throw this in. This will get at least... Oh, okay. Well, it was uneven anyway. We'll get that side. What is this looking like? Yeah. I love how windows just make it look a little nicer. It's kind of weird. Like two little... a couple little lines outlining things with little squigglies in there. And it's just like... looks a lot better than not having it. So yeah, I'm gonna let that tree grow, and then I'll see what the crops look like, or like how I'm gonna do the crops, see what that looks like. But I'm gonna go ahead and do this as well. Oh wait, I forgot to finish this. And then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this terraformed out and clean it up like quite a bit. Like this does not need to be here. Like this whole little area right here is completely kind of a waste actually. We're gonna need to fill this in. So I might light it up, terraform this out like this little weird arch, and then kind of have a steep little build up right here to flatten this part out is what I think I'll do. And then for the rest of it, I want to keep this shape. This is kind of nice. I like the idea of having a road. So yeah, I want to keep it like this though. I like the idea of it coming through the hills a little bit. And then if you kind of like think to like a movie or something, but yeah, just having like dudes up here with like crossbows or something, or bows, and be like, go give me your stuff on the trading routes. So yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna get that done, and then we'll see what these look like over here, that tree once it grows, and I'll throw the crops in over there. All right, so we got this whole area filled up pretty good. I mean, well, it's not completely grown, but like they're getting there. And I stacked up some pumpkins in the back here as like a little area to put those, and then some melons here in the front as like a good area for these. That tree grew too. I didn't even notice that. That's a nice sized tree, like kind of perfect for that little spot. So that's cool. I don't really feel the need to add much more here. We have the grass where we need it. We got the extra supply here. Like I said, we're going to add carts and things at some point to like have these different things on them. But mostly we'll probably just do that over by these stalls that have like the little shop areas that contain these things. This is pretty good. Yeah, everything's looking fantastic here. So we're going to go ahead and get started on our building. That is going to, I've decided what I'm going to do is do one big building, maybe not gigantic, but a decent sized building that will have a library section, and then we'll have like a little town hall section. Like it's going to be like the one building where you go to get everything, post office, government stuff, maybe the bank. I don't know if I'll have like a little bank section on like another floor. Or the library will be on the floor. Whatever. We're going to put like everything in that. I feel like that makes a lot of sense for like a small town. And then we'll have our little like marketplace things along these areas outside of it. And then we'll have that trade road going over here because we did go ahead and flatten all of this. It's not perfect, obviously. We have to decorate all this pathing. Like this is probably pretty good, I think, as far as like decoration. Maybe I'll throw like a couple buttons down for like little pebbles, and then of course we have to build our dock. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started on this decent sized building, and I'm not even entirely sure what I'm gonna be doing with that yet. I think I have a good idea. I don't want to make it look like a town hall or anything. Let me go ahead and go to sleep real quick before I get slaughtered or something blows up. So yeah, I don't think I'll need the enchantment table for anything else right now. We don't really have anything to enchant. We'll tear this down. And we're going to need to get more... I think we grabbed a decent supply of books. Hopefully we did. So now all we really need is a supply of stone. Let me check our little storage area. I should just throw a door here at this point. But I feel like it would not look great if I did that. And we got a little bit of cobble, a little bit of stone. I'll take the andesite because we could probably use that to sprinkle in some stuff and never know if we need any of this stuff. Also, anybody that's made it this far in the video is probably going to be the type of people that are going to care. But sorry for not being so frequent with uploads. I've been pretty busy, a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, a lot of work stuff I had to be doing, and just stuff going on, and so I've kind of hit a little bit of a lull on the content side, which I intend fully on repairing from that, but it has been a little lackluster, like I said, in the content department. So that is my bad, and I'm gonna make sure I'm start rolling things out more frequently, because I think right now, yeah, this will be 2 weeks. I haven't even finished recording this one, which is definitely gonna be the next upload. Now we're definitely gonna need more cobble. I'm gonna go ahead and just set myself up pretty well, and not just like I always end up doing this where I don't have enough material, and I'm guaranteeing I'm gonna do it again. So we're gonna go ahead and just come down here. All right, I got some starter materials. Stuff still smelting, so I figured I'll come out here and at least start on what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to get rid of this little thing here. Oh my god. I don't know if it's a glitch. It makes me want to just update to 1.21.7, but I don't want to really deal with this instance being updated. But this, with the grass, this is a efficiency 3 shovel. This should not be this slow. I know it's a little slower with grass than it is with dirt, but this is like normal diamond shovel breaking grass. So yeah, we're gonna put it right here, and I'm gonna fiddle around with the design and then get to building up the entire thing. We both need some spruce, obviously. That is something I'm definitely missing. And I think my supply is pretty much gone as far as I know. I gotta get some giant trees. Oh wait, oh no, wait. Yes, I do have some over there. Okay, so let's go grab that. And then once I have that, I'll get started on my actual build. So here we are with our main building. It is a lot bigger than I suppose it needed to be, or that I even planned on making it. but I think it turned out pretty good. For the most part, I'm happy with it. Like, I think it could have looked a lot worse, but I had a few ideas when I was flying around looking at it. And I don't know if I'll do the interior right now, just like I haven't really done any of the interiors for the other things. But this one I'm going to end up doing at some point. But I think I'm going to make this... I put like this wall up in the middle so that I could have it sectioned off differently from what's going to be going on over here. And I think I'll use this as like the government area. And then the library will be back here. So I might end up having to just put a door on here maybe, or just walling it off entirely. I'll have to see what that looks like. And I felt a little weird with the window being there, so I put this hole in the top, which I guess even if I wall this off, I will leave that. But yeah, this will be the library. I went ahead and set this up because I'll actually use this, even when it's not being set up yet. But I think what I'm going to do here, and I may do this before I'm done with this whole project, for today anyway, is put bookshelves here, and then maybe put like a... This would... Yeah, I should totally just close this off and make it a lot easier. And then I could put like aisleway, and have that. And then do maybe something similar over here. Or I'll just have... Yeah, maybe I will just wall this off. Have this as the main aisle. Have it so you can go down here and go down here. And then same thing here. And then we can just have this as like space. I guess I could wall this off. I'm going to experiment. I don't know if I'm going to do this right now. I'm pretty happy with it. It's kind of hard to see, and I think I really missed the mark on what I was going for. If you guys want to see what I kind of was modeling this after, even though it does look semi-generic, I guess. I don't know. It looks just like something I would have built anyway, except for this part. I did originally just have this going all the way down. I was like, it looks kind of goofy. So I extended this wall up and put this roof on it, and I'm kind of happy with that. It really makes this side look a lot nicer. Um, and I fiddled around a little bit, even with like the shape of this. I didn't want it going so tall, so I kind of added a different pattern than I normally do. But yeah, so here's a picture right on screen now. That is what I was modeling it off of. One of my favorite games is Fable, and I took a screenshot in game of the schoolhouse. Now I know I probably could have done it better by extending this roof up, just like I did on this side, and just doing that over to here. And I very well could possibly do that, but I think it's fine for now. I'm happy with how this turned out. So what I was thinking for the rest of the space here is to have the market stalls. I want to put like a fountain here or something, maybe like right here. We can have a path going to that door, and then having like maybe like a fountain here. And then I think other than that, we can just have a couple different shops and different stalls around, leading down to that, and then making ourselves the dock. Which again, this video might be getting too long. I may have to do that another time. Yeah, so let's do a basic little fountain shape real quick. I don't know, something as simple as this. It needs to be centered, so we'll do like that. Okay, we got that. And then I want the floor to be this deep slate tile, I think it is, right? All right, and then maybe even go up like this. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Like I said, very basic, but does that look better? That does look better. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, I like that. We'll do that. Let me add a couple of these. Perfect. Okay, I'm very happy with that. Looks really nice. Okay. Yeah, we got a basic little fountain right there. And then this stuff's, of course, in the way. I really wish I had carry on. So I could just pick this up and move it, but oh well. And I am getting that feeling where things seem a little empty again. So I'm trying to think if I should probably throw some trees. Not like full forest like it is behind there and like over in this area. But I think I'm going to throw like, I don't know, maybe a couple of trees right here. And then one or two trees right here. Just to make this space feel not so empty. And then I'm not, like I said, I wasn't entirely sure. The building's so big, I feel like it looks a little ridiculous to only have a few houses in this town. But there's mine there as well. And I'm going to have the shops here. So this may be something we have to add on to as we go, which I fully intend on doing, but I got done what I needed to. So I don't want to add like another building. But let me throw a few trees in. I want to add a little bit of stone around that fountain to make it look more like it belongs there. And then I don't think we have any more bone meal, but we need to get some of that. Okay, we have one bone meal. The trees can grow as they need to, but and this leaf litter is actually helping more than I honestly thought it would, because I haven't been a fan of it so far, but I'm kind of liking it. And then we'll throw down the stone. So I'm using all the little bit of materials I have left before having to go back out there, because I don't know if I need to work with stone anymore, other than maybe some cobble. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we'll have the path going like right here. We're gonna have to add some weathering and stuff that we're gonna fiddle with for that to all look like it fits. Because if I fly above everything right now, it's not bad from a distance. And this is how I know that it's more of a, for anybody that's like trying to get better with like making things feel like they fit into a world. From a distance, it doesn't actually really look. It doesn't look like it doesn't belong. Everything looks like it fits pretty well. The problem I'm having is not so much that it's not fitting. It's that you need to have things around the build that make it look like it hasn't been just plopped there. The area is too clean around it, it doesn't belong. Especially when your building has things like this, where there's cobblestone and andesite and stuff. The world, obviously, like, you're giving the illusion that it's been aged, but nothing indicates that it's been aged when the entire area around the build doesn't have any trees, or, like, that stuff should be growing around it. There's no grass. It's all like this. There's no leaf litter, stuff like that. So, just a little tip for anybody that's trying to, work on stuff like that. I'm not the best, obviously, but I've gotten better since starting YouTube and focusing on that kind of thing. Okay, that goes down. That looks pretty good. I'm not hating that. I'm trying to think of something else that I could use to mix in, so it's not all exactly the same. Give it a little more age than it has. See what that looks like versus that. Okay, this blends better for sure. But I might be able to throw a couple of these in there. Maybe. Let me just break up some pieces. Those are almost like, they almost look like two different levels of broken. Like, this one's a little dirtier, or like a little more worn out from stepping. And this one's like past that. It's like a dirty worn out where it's kind of cracking a little bit. So I think they both work pretty well. Okay. And I think that already helps quite a bit. Yeah. It breaks it up enough so it's not all exactly the same thing. And they're all in the same direction, so that's good. Those two may be too close together, but when you first do things, you guys probably hear me say all the time, like, oh, I like this a lot better now than I did when I did it. That is so true. You always end up coming around to things because they sit in your world for more, for longer, and then it feels like it belongs. See, walking back by it, I didn't even not like hyper focusing on it, just walking by this. I was already like, I looked down for half a second. I'm like, oh, it's nice. like it is so nice when you're not like just looking at it. Like walk away. If you're working on something, walk away and come back to it. I promise you, it doesn't look as bad as you think it does. 18, not too bad. Not too bad. Ooh, I can get 2 more hay blocks. Exactly enough for this. And then it's about to be night, so if we need more, which we probably will, then we could just kill some skeletons. See, I don't know if I need any more of these to be put around. I guess I could make this stack a little more, yeah, a little more fluffed up. But yeah, let's go ahead and throw some of these down. I don't want the grass to be too tall, like right here in the city. Or city, in this small little town, because that's exactly what it is, a tiny little town. It's nice to have grass. It needs to be a little more flowers, so I can go ahead and go through here and throw down a few more flowers, but okay. See, that already adds enough to make it look like it belongs here a bit, which is nice. I love this. Okay. Perfect. The tree grew right there. I am a lot more happy with that. That fits so much better. Just adding a little fountain right there, the pathing leading to this, which doesn't really match up quite well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple more of these blocks very scattered into this. I'm going to add, maybe some wood, or should it be cobble? I think I'm going to add, like, keep the pathing block, add some cobble and some stone, maybe some gravel sprinkled in along these. At least down to here. Maybe I'll leave these as path blocks, mix in some coarse dirt, be like little dirt roads. But for this main one, I'm gonna mix in stone, cobble, um, and gravel. Okay, I finished with the road, and I threw coarse dirt down and a little bit of bone meal on these paths to make them look a little like these are not maintained at all. It's just worn out pathing. It was like a dirt road that's got worn down. There's some grass there. So none of this is maintained. It just goes straight to the farmhouses. They got the main road and then their own roads going off. And then this is the road. Now, the reason why it's so broken up, the town is not abandoned. Like I said, not much, you can't call it much of a town, but like it technically is. We're gonna add things as we go along in this world. You know, we'll add more and more things, and this might become a city at some point. Um, but you know, it's a small town, so there's no budget to be maintaining the roads more than every so often. So that's why they're so torn up. But let me take a good look from up above and see how all this is coming together. Oh yeah, I am extremely happy with this. Like, let me hold on a second. Let's get the thumbnail shot. I don't know if I'm going to take a thumbnail right now, but I want to see what it looks like. Oh yeah. Yeah, so that's come together really nice. I'm very happy with how all this is going. So for the shops and everything, I think I'm actually going to hold off on the different stalls because we're not building the dock today yet. So I think maybe we'll hold off on that as well so that we can get all of that stuff done at one time. But let me see about these villagers. We got to get a couple villagers in here. They got to be working on the farms. So we'll throw a couple of guys in each of these, 2 in each. Have a couple family, and then we can get them breeding and everything at some point as well. I'm gonna throw 2 in each. Do I have carry on installed? Because if I don't, I'm gonna get it. I'm not. I'm not about to put tracks going everywhere. Everyone knows how I feel about that. Let's see. I don't think I do. I don't. Okay, hold on. Beautiful. I have you in the palm of my hand. Wait, did he? Oh, they changed it. I don't think it was on my, like I held him by his toes before. I could be wrong about this. But anyway, let's throw 2 of these guys in each plot. Bam. Hello. Welcome to your new home. I gotta put a bed in there as well. I could take these beds to fill those up. Welcome to the wheat farm, sir. You guys are gonna make bread and beer. Hope you like it. Oh no, y'all can get out? Oh, that's not good. I didn't think about that. Oh, dang. Maybe if I give them job blocks on the inside of the pumpkin one, they won't want to leave. Don't look so sad. I'm bringing you a friend. I know nobody wants to talk to these ones, but it's okay. All right. We got plenty of room in here to give more beds. I mean, it's not exactly the family house of the century, but, you know, you guys are going to have places to sleep. There's plenty of that. Now, this one I can't say so much about. This one, there's really no other room other than, like, a double bed. So, you guys don't have room for a child. You guys are dumb enough to keep jumping out. You're going to die. Like, it's nighttime. You need to go to bed. No, where are you going? Come here. Go into your house. There's beds in here for you to sleep. Yeah, I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this. What a beautiful project this is. I get a good look at night. Oh, yeah. Could use more lights, but, you know, like I said, it's a low population town. There's 6 people. There's 6 people. We might have... I think like one of the things I could add to just this area that I don't have currently is like, since we're going to have some kind of economy here with the shops that we're going to have here and the port, maybe a hotel for like people to come into town, and when they're doing all this stuff, then they can stay in the hotel. So maybe we'll make a hotel. I've never actually made a hotel, but we'll save that one for another episode where we'll work on possibly a hotel with the rest of our industry here. Well, infrastructure in this town. So yeah, if you guys want to see that, let me know down below. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe for some more if you're not. I know most of you guys that watch my videos regularly are not subscribed. So maybe check and see if you are. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, I hope everyone has enjoyed. The poll was, like I said, surprising that this was the series that won. So it's kind of funny that this is the next video that came out. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.